Hi, and welcome back to another episode of The Breakdown with Bethany. I'm Bethany Braun Silva, and today my guest is the incredibly impactful Maria Menounos. Maria has been a long-time entertainment host, having appeared on E, but she's now a health and wellness expert and hosts her very own podcast called The Heal Squad. She really is such an advocate for healthy living, mindfulness, and is no stranger to health battles of her own. And actually, I would love to share a story with you guys. I had the opportunity to interview Maria back in 2019, just shortly after my mother-in-law passed from glioblastoma. It was a very, very, very difficult time in my life and in my family's life. And Maria had a similar experience with her own mother. And it was talking to her was life-changing. It was just a moment, maybe 10 minutes, right? And in her life, she was, doing tons of interviews that day. She was there as part of, a brand activation. But for me, it made my whole life. It helped me in a time when I really needed a lot of help. And I got a chance to thank Maria before we dove into the interview today. And it just really is such a testament to who she is and what she stands for. So I hope you listen to this interview. It's fairly lighthearted with all things considered, everything I just talked about. But Maria is such an important person in my life. And I think she's really impacting a lot of people with what she's doing now. So please take a listen. We'll jump in because I know we're here to talk about messes, and we'll get into all the bounty and the dog stuff. But I'm a mom, and I'm so captivated by your recent IG post with the spit up down the back, right? Like, and someone wrote, I think,
Yeah.
under badge of honor. Like, tell us, like, this is really indicative of, like, I'm thinking like your life, like in the moment, right? Like what's happening with you right now.
Yeah, I mean, listen, it's just what happens. And it's funny because this partnership with Bounty is hilariously perfect for me because I feel like Bounty is an extension of my arm at this point with all of my dogs and cleaning up their messes. But when that happened, the same thing. I wet a little Bounty towel, I wiped myself off, I cleaned it off the floor and quicker picker upper for the save. But that's just a slice of life, in the morning for me when I'm feeding her and stuff happens. So whether I'm dodging my dog's messes or her mess, that's just kind of what life is about.
Yeah, I would say you've definitely got your hands full with two dogs and the baby. I mean, what do the messes like really look like in your house? And I know also am I right to say you set up these sort of bounty stations? So tell us about that too.
Yeah. My husband is he's kind of like Bob Saget. We always have joked, and he always is like, we need stations. So it was his idea to have bounty stations everywhere. So we have them in the kitchen, office, master bedroom, um, and then the studio, and then we have an outdoor one too, actually. So we keep them everywhere, and I usually have Drew Barrymore's cleaning products. She has some non-toxic product called Grove Co, I think, and I just keep it there, and we're ready to like roll with an accident. And lately, we've been having a lot because Max has been on different medication. So when I was talking to the bounty team, I go, guys, you really don't know how perfect this is. This morning, in fact, I came downstairs with Athena, ready to feed her, and bumped into a beautiful pet mess and had to take care of that. And then later found the other pet mess from earlier in the evening that I had missed. And so it is a natural thing that goes on when you have animals. And then, like I said, even kids, she's spitting up, and sometimes it's projectile spit. I'm sure you being a mom know it can fly. And I have to try to clean it up before the dogs get to it because they want to lick it. So I'm down there with a quicker picker upper, swiping that away.
It's such a like gross but rewarding time, right? That is like everything
Yeah.
that made you cringe is like you're just sort of like whatever.
Well, that's why I love my babies, my rescues, because we practiced on them. We learned. We had a quadriplegic poodle. We had all special needs dogs and medicines and this and that's, and we had to get comfortable cleaning up messes and not being phased. So now with her, she, we had a mess the other day through the diaper, and I was like, oh wow, that's a first. Okay, let's go. We got this. And in fact, because I didn't want to have to change my changing table cover, I took the Bounty towels and I did a layer and put her on so I could clean her first, round, get that off, and then put a fresh diaper on. And I didn't have to change my changing table thing because it didn't get messed. So I'm starting to realize that Bounty is having even more of a role in my life than I thought.
Yeah, I mean, I really love it. You've MacGyvered that. And I think, moms were applauding you for that one. But I
Yeah,
know that
because you know
you,
how much laundry we have to do?
please, it's horrible. It's
It's
horrible.
crazy.
I know. And when
So
they get
it's
older,
saving me
like,
from having to do that laundry.
right. My boys are athletes and forget it. It's a mess. But and I know how important the dogs are to you. And I'm wondering, because I know you talk about a lot about health, right? What was the impact of having the dogs for your mental, your physical health? And I'm also curious about, I know Athena's a tiny, tiny baby, but do you see anything sort of blossoming there with the dogs and the baby?
So they love her, and she's getting curious about them now. So Bobo will come sit on the couch and he'll, want to lick her to death. And I'm like, no, 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 stay away. You're not gonna lick her. Because my dad gets really upset. Maria, don't let the dogs kiss the baby on the face. And so, but she's, starting to reach out to them. She's looking at them. She's curious. I forget the first part of your question. I know you asked about their relationship. There was something else.
Yeah, just what has been the positive impact that your dogs have had, and
Oh,
especially this partnership is about rescuing and paying for
yeah.
adoption fees. Like, what I want to hear all about that.
Yeah. So, I mean, listen, my dogs have been my everything. They've been my healers. They've been my best friends. They've been my protectors. Each one of them has had a different role in my life. They've taught me about myself, and they just have been such incredible parts of our family. And so I've been a big animal rescuer for over 20 years now, and this partnership with Bounty has been so rewarding and so exciting because obviously Max and Bobo are my current rescues, my current pets, my current babies, brothers to Athena. And as much as we love them, of course, they bring the mess. Bounty helps me clean that mess up every day with the quicker picker upper. And then now we have this other part to this, which is the adoption part where Bounty will cover adoption fees for the month of November for people who want to rescue an animal. Partnered up with Best Friends Animal Society, which is an incredible sanctuary. And we're doing this super adoption event this Saturday where we'll hopefully get hundreds of animals homes. And what I love about it is, we're living in a really tough time where families are having a hard time just even paying their bills. This will hopefully give them the opportunity to rescue an animal that needs saving, but also to bring that incredible amount of love home. And you don't know what you're going to get. Are you going to get a best friend? Are you going to get a healer? Are you going to get a combination? There's so many roles these animals play in our lives. Like I said, I've had them teach me about myself and the things I needed to work on, my anxiety or whatever. I think it's really exciting, and I'm just honored to be a part of it.
Yeah, that sounds really fantastic. Actually, my family, we're considering bringing in a dog into our family, and obviously we know the benefits of adopting versus shopping. But I also would love to hear from you, someone who's sort of a veteran at this. What I mean, tell me firsthand, like, why would you never go to a pet store versus adopting a dog?
So adopt, don't shop. I did the shopping in the very beginning before I knew anything about adoption. And then when I started volunteering and rescuing and all of that, I realized there are so many loving animals that are in these shelters by circumstance, not just because of behavior or the negative things that people will associate with why they're there. Some people just have to move out of a home and they have to move into an apartment and they can't afford to keep the dog, and they're not allowed in those apartment buildings. So there are circumstances that lead really beautiful animals. And I'll tell you, I've had purebred, beautiful, amazing, loving animals that I've gotten at the shelter. People are like, no way. And I'm like, yeah, you can have the same thing. You can just go down and find your soulmate. And so I have had an incredible experience rescuing. And, once I knew better, I did better. Um, And so, there's so many that need homes, and you can get anything you want pretty much. I mean, there's even I haven't been on it in a long time, but I used to go on petfinder.com to search the breed that I wanted, and it will tell you where those specific dogs are available, and you can find what you want. But there's no better joy. We on Christmas one year we rescued a little apricot poodle. We named her Noelle, and she was the greatest Christmas gift we ever got. And she was the gift that kept on giving. So this November, you can get the same thing with Bounty and Best Friends Animal Society. They'll pick up the adoption fee, and you can have that too.
That's really fantastic. Yeah, we are really approaching the holidays, and this will be your first one with little Athena. And what are you
Mhm.
looking forward to? I think every day is when you bring in a new baby, and I know a little bit about your story about bringing Athena home, but I just the holidays can really amplify like the specialness of it all.
Yeah, I mean, we just got through Halloween, and that was so special. Last minute, I went out with some friends
I
with their kids and saw the plethora of children in costumes. And I'm like, oh my God, I haven't been trick or treating since I was a little kid. What a deja vu, what a like nostalgic moment, and just a break from just all of the madness and just having a pure event that you get to be part of. It was so sweet. So I'm looking forward to every minute of the holidays with her. We're gonna have some Christmas outfit for sure, or many of them, and the dogs will have their little Santa suits and all of that. And we're just gonna enjoy every minute. And this event Saturday will be another pure event. You don't get to do things like that very often. And when you're witnessing animals being sprung and getting their families, there's so much beauty in that. So I love things like that.
Yeah, thank you so much for sharing. Really appreciate the time.
Thank
And
you, Bethany.
I'll remind everybody this event is happening all through November, and and I'll share all the information when I share it online. So again, really,
Thank you.
it's always I just love talking to you, and I love what you're doing. It's working. Your reach is far and wide. So thank you so much.
Thank you, Bethany. I really appreciate you. Thank you.